and then you get those clients who are the type to complain about absolutely everything and annoy you the most, potentially give your business a really bad rep from very early on. If you don't know your market, you can't win any market, and therefore you can't make any money. I would go as hard as possible in the next couple of weeks to find one company to sign as a client, and go as hard as possible only fulfilling on that one client for a month or 2 months until you get them an insane case study.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on, everybody? I'm here with one of my good friends, Daniel, and today we're going to be walking through his new offer, new business. He's running with a business partner, and you just started it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We started about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so we're gonna be going through that today, and just figuring out kind of what a clear plan to go from where you're at now to reach your goals. So yeah, let's start with what is the offer right now? What are you doing? What are you selling?
Yeah. So offer right now is coming into your business, content related. We take care of your content engine. So from pre-production to getting the content out, we try and eliminate the time it takes to produce content and kind of come up with creative ideas to help a business just implement directly um into their social medias and attract their right target audience.
Okay, so the offer is basically content marketing, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so what exactly, like, walk me through the who's your ICP right now?
So when we started, we initially just kind of thought, okay, anyone that needs content.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the past 2 weeks of doing a lot of like talking to a lot of hot leads
Yeah.
or warm leads, we noticed that a lot of the people that we're talking to right now is startups.
Yeah.
And one thing that everyone's struggling with right now is growth and getting the actual product out there.
Yeah.
Um, so we try and target startups that just raise funds
Okay.
or that has funds already, and they just need a way to kind of get their product out to their ICP as quick as possible.
Okay. And so startups, what niche?
Oh, okay. So tech, AI, and Web3 startups.
Tech AI Web3. Okay.
Yeah.
So startups like pre-seed slash seed startups, they don't have to have any revenue. It's like anyone who
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
is funded.
Yeah. So right now we trying to work with people that's like getting out of the gates,
Yeah.
but also if they do have a like existing client base or they have been in business for quite a while now and they do have the capital,
Yeah.
but they're running specific campaigns,
Mm-hmm.
like we want to assist with that. So we kind of position ourselves as a growth factor.
Okay. But with like a main emphasis on content. Well, you
Exactly.
said AI Web3 and
And tech brands.
tech? Okay,
Yeah.
just tech in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so for these, obviously you noticed very early that if you like going too broad is a problem because most
Mhm.
people or usually first time founders are like, okay, well my thing like applies to everyone, I can sell it to everyone, my market is
Mhm.
huge, but
Yeah,
never works.
yeah.
You're like in no man's land and you can't win any market. If you don't know your market, you can't win any market, and therefore you can't make any money. So you kind of get lost in no man's land, right? So the first thing is like to be very specific on who you're selling to. So good start already. What are the different offers like that you're actually selling to them, like package wise, pricing, what they get, how long they get it for, etc. Walk me through that.
So right now, we trying to just kind of understand a little bit more about the business, like what their specific goals are. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say they in the stage of just starting up and they have nothing to start with. We kind of try to push a bit more volume or quantity in terms of content that's being pushed out to them.
Yeah.
And then let's say the business kind of already exists and they have the client base, but they're running just campaigns right now. We tend to put out more like quality and targeted pieces of content
Okay. So as an angle
as an angle
to
to
market.
to market. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Your price, it's like one package right now that you're selling?
I wouldn't say there's like a fixed package of like deliverables. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of just we just trying to obviously match their budget as well.
Yeah.
Like we can't just give them a package of 12 videos and expect them to pay X amounts. Like let's say their budget is a little bit lower, we can come in with an offer of okay, let's do 4 videos a month or
Yeah.
something in that sense.
Okay, so it's specific to every business, but
Yeah.
you would charge a flat fee, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes it hard because when you get to, for this person or this company, I'll do like 5 a month and they're gonna get 7 videos in this, and then this person, because it's not only like on the front end, but on fulfillment,
Yeah.
for you to be able to keep track of like who gets what and having a custom thing for everyone just to get just to like sign in with the client, right?
Yeah.
So I would, not in the beginning, because like, you don't have to do that because you don't have like, you're still trying to get your first client, and so just by signing someone, there's a lot that you're gonna learn about fulfillment and stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually, I would definitely think about having a set, at least minimum price to work with you, and go after like companies that have raised an like set amount of money, because you when it comes to service based business, like, you would know that the more they pay, the better to get stuck in. Is like, I'm gonna charge very low to get in the market and like to get any client, and then I'm gonna like, it's not really what I want, so I'm kind of gonna like half-ass the delivery,
Mm.
and then you get those clients are the type to complain about absolutely everything and annoy you the most.
Yeah.
And so that you can like potentially give your business a really bad rep from very early on if you do that, if you make that mistake. What is your, let me ask you this then. What is your goal in terms of like the how you want to run the company? Do you want to have a handful of like really big clients, or do you want to have with like large retainers, or you just want to grow like in terms of width, having as many clients as possible?
Right now, obviously, like everyone else, the main goal is to have a handful of bigger clients so that there's a little bit less stress in terms of having a bunch of small clients,
Yeah.
um, and stressing about fulfillments, etc. So the goal is to have, let's say, a good amount of high paying customers.
Okay.
Yeah,
So small amount of customers but high paying. So you want to
exactly.
keep it like boutique agency.
Exactly. But since we are two founders, like that is how we're thinking right now. But we're really trying to always think ahead of time as well in terms of um like internal team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one of the things we're also just like having in mind is pricing correspondingly if we want to outsource that specific content that needs to get done.
Yeah. And we had this discussion a little bit yesterday, but like, I would put off hiring as long as you possibly can, always. If you need to have someone, obviously do it on a contractual basis, like get a
Yeah.
freelancer to do, and do not hire someone full time in your team unless you like seriously need
Yeah.
like need them, and you know that you're like, this is going to be a very vital and key role going forward, and you have the clients to be able to cover the overhead.
Yeah.
For now, if you just get your first client, can you like both of you fulfill on one
Yeah.
client? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's good. So you don't need other people outside of the business to start and like actually turn your first bit of profit. How are you getting clients right now? Like, what is your
So main thing is we started directly reaching out to our circles. So
yeah,
networks where we already know that we built in the AI tech and Web3 space,
okay,
since that's our main target audience, because we come out of that background, myself and my partner.
okay. So it's just like basically network referral that you're reaching out to get some
Exactly.
customer feedback.
Exactly.
How long ago did you start the business?
About 3-4 weeks ago.
Okay. And you haven't signed anyone as of yet.
We haven't signed anyone as of yet, but we have 3-4-ish clients that's like super warm.
Uh-huh.
But I think the main bottleneck right there is
Not gonna be able to work. Like, it's not feasible to be able to go and like, all right, I'm going to.
is putting something in front of them that makes sense for us and for them.
So there's a misalignment in like what the offer that you're putting in front of them.
Yeah, since like I just explained, before this recording. Like we kind of switching angles of what we want to do initially. Like let me just explain that. Initially, we were very focused on organic content
Yeah.
and just grabbing a bunch of different creators that fits the persona of the specific brands.
Yes.
And now we're kind of pivoting more into founder-led content
Okay.
and not worrying about the UGC part of things
Yeah.
because initially getting a team of 10 UGC creators,
Yeah.
first of all, is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we have like 5 clients of that, managing 50 UGC creators is a bit of
Yeah.
a stretch.
Yeah. UGC, like a standard UGC agency is tough. I mean, you can make it work if you have a good network.
Mm.
I think with the niche, you definitely can. So now it's just you.
So still
It's
focusing on getting some UGC creators in front of camera,
yeah.
but first it was fully UGC.
Okay.
So we kind of like pushing it like a bit more of a split of like 50-50
Yeah.
or 70-30
Yeah.
rather than 100% UGC content.
Okay. Have you ever thought about doing? Well, you're doing organic, so the AI UGC route, like
Mm.
I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
fully AI generated like UGC
Mm.
creators, like not even just for ads, but people making social media accounts
Yeah.
for the creators and
Yeah.
posting like 10 times a day
Mm.
because you can.
Mm.
You've built the persona and you can like control how much
Mm.
output they do. Have you ever considered that? Because obviously it's a lot lower cost for
Yeah.
the company to be able to, over and above paying you, also have to pay the UGC creator. So yeah, is that something that you thought about bringing into the?
It was something that we thought on in the beginning, but then we just went back across our clients' work, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, I think over time it's gonna get way better.
Yeah.
So it might be a thing we wanna like revisit in the future.
Yeah, that I mean that is a fair point, but one thing you always have to remember is like you are whoever you're working with, you have to make sure you understand like are you the ICP of like who they're trying to go after? Because I
Mm.
know in my company it's the same thing. Some clients we would not think about using AI for at all, but some we would.
Yeah.
And it depends, rightfully so, as you said, how that ICP resonates with it. But you and your co-founder might not be the ICP of what who they're going after, and so it might not always be a bad thing to test it because again, the cost to fulfill is like very very low. I don't think it would necessarily, especially if the company's new, hurt their brand as much as it would be another data point for you to like know for a fact, is this something that's going to convert? Do people like it or not? More than just you and your co-founder are saying like, okay, I don't like
Yeah.
this, so that means everyone who's going to buy from this company is not going to like it,
I
right?
guess you.
So that's one. But you moved away from UGC. It's gonna be founder led now. So in terms of like the actual value proposition, what is the obviously like I'm sure you make great content, you shoot great videos. Your offer to them is a retainer to do X amount of long form and X amount of short form on different platforms a month. What is your offer to them? When I say offer, I mean like I'm sure you've seen people say we will help you make 10K in 90 days. Like straight up, what is your offer to them? Like what do they get out of the content? More so than just okay, we'll help you publish content.
I think since we don't have any success stories in the sense of us working together as a brand, I think that's like one thing that we need to still figure out is like, okay,
Yeah.
what's our guarantee, right?
Yeah.
But at the moment, we just okay. Let's say it's a product that needs clients that need to sign up, and a sign up is $10 or something in that sense. We tell them our like main mission is just to assist on getting more signups. That corresponds to revenue through the door, right?
Okay, so
But we don't have like a set number. Like
we'll help you.
we can't tell them, listen, we're gonna
Yeah.
guarantee like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always tough with a content agency,
mm,
but I honestly think from what you're describing to me now is with it being like more founder like content, you are like you write all the scripts, right? You don't just film.
Yeah.
You're a marketing agency for them more than just a organic video creation agency.
Yeah.
Because you nowadays organic like brand building is very very important for any company, and so marketing, you what you put in your paid marketing versus organic
Mhm.
is going to be super aligned, right?
Mhm.
So if you're already, in order to make good content, or what makes good content and a good message and what helps people convert in organic is going to do the same thing in paid. Maybe a little bit different because it's
Yeah.
cold, but these people don't have a warm audience. That so you have to write scripts that are cold friendly because you're trying to get new users on, right?
Mhm.
They don't have an audience that they're already selling to.
Yeah.
So you have to build trust in the content as well, right?
Mhm.
And so you're basically doing the same thing that you would any marketing agency would for like paid advertising. You are using money to accelerate the process of it.
Yeah.
And so that obviously is more tangible than the organic side of it.
Mhm.
And so from what you're telling me, if you're writing all these scripts and if like it doesn't matter how good the video is filmed, it comes down to, is the content creative and does the message in the video resonate with the whoever's watching it to get them to sign up, right?
Yeah.
Like that's because
Yeah.
your goal is to help them drive signups. And so the most important part is to get like build a brand from scratch. And so
Mhm.
like talking to a cold audience and converting them to become a user of the platform.
Yeah.
So that is your most important value proposition, is writing marketing material for them, right?
Yeah.
Because you're already building a brand. Organic is even harder than paid because, like as we discussed yesterday, you can get a lot more data points a lot quicker
Yeah.
and a lot more predictably with putting it behind paid compared to organic, especially if they're only posting X amount a month, right? So I think that you need some sort of like ROI factor or some sort of like offer that we can talk about now.
Mhm.
But because if you don't, it's hard to go to them and say like,
Yeah.
I will shoot or I'll provide like 8 videos, 8 long form and 30 short form a month, and you're gonna pay me $8,000 or $10,000 for this, because unless they really want to do it or they just like, I really like your content on paper, like
Yeah.
what are the numbers saying to like, there's
Yeah.
no guarantee for them like that it will logically make sense,
Yeah.
where they're like, all right, this is 8 grand or 10 grand the best spent here because I know that this is going to drive revenue. Or
Mhm.
unless they're just looking at it from a brand building perspective and they're like, I don't care how many signups it drives, I just want to build an online presence.
Yeah.
Which again, you can, especially nowadays, convince a company to do that because so many companies that are doing well are doing that. Like you said, Cluely, right?
Mhm.
I've seen their stuff all over. They're doing a good job at that. But it's gonna make your life easier to convince someone that isn't maybe just like, all right, I want to throw money at building a brand, especially when I'm at a startup stage. We
Yeah.
need revenue,
Yeah.
to give them a more concrete offer, right?
Yeah.
And so going back to it, you agree the most
Mhm.
important part is writing a message that is, the goal is to convert a cold audience. But right now you're just doing it through the medium of organic content. Because that's what both of you got, like you and your co-founder both know and you've done.
Yeah.
Right? So you have some proof yourself like doing it. But I think, would you say that you or your partner or both of you are good at writing content that is engaging?
I would say yes.
Then
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't add even if you get someone to run it for you, or you could honestly do it yourself.
Mm.
Add a paid ad element. And again, we already spoke about this, but like, if
Yeah.
especially now 90% of the ad is what it says, what does it make someone like, how does it make someone feel, is it a creative concept? If it is all three of those things, then it will most probably do well.
Yeah.
Right? The actual setup of how you do a meta ad campaign or whatever is much less relevant than it was years ago. So you don't have to spend so much time learning how to do the technical side of
Mm.
setting up a pixel and this and that and whatever. And even if you make the funnel for them, again, it just like it literally just comes down to writing good marketing material because that's
Yeah.
what you're doing anyway.
Mm.
You're just providing it in a different format to it.
Yeah.
I would definitely add a paid marketing element to it. Maybe even lead with that because again, if you make a really good organic video, there's a very good chance it's gonna do well
Mm.
on the paid side of it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think what you say, it definitely provides more value. And since you mentioned it yesterday, myself and my partner did go into discussion with this for a long time, and that's where the whole sense of direction changed
Yeah.
after talking to you about ads and spending money to speed up the process to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely like an element that we want to incorporate right now. The thing is to convince them about ad spend, right? I think
Yeah.
that's like the biggest thing because yes, okay, we have the retainer for let's say 5 grand,
Yeah.
but listen, for you to make more money, you're gonna have to spend another 15K.
Yeah. I fair, but one, if you're working with companies that are already making money or they're funded, like there's a lot of money in these industries. And so it's not like you're not gonna go after a client that's like cash poor that has
Yeah.
no money to be able to spend on this.
Yeah.
And you literally if you get convince one person to do it, I would go as hard as possible in the next couple of weeks to find one company to sign as a client
Mm.
and go as hard as possible, only fulfilling on that one client for a month or 2 months until you
Mm.
get them an insane case study,
Yeah.
like really, really good results.
Mm.
Then you can go wild to market that case study to other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's like I would completely stop outreach or talks or whatever with anyone else and just fully focus for 4 to 8 weeks on fulfilling on that client, making it the best
Mm.
possible experience for them.
Makes
Because
sense.
not only would they refer you're gonna have a absolute banger case study to take to other clients when you have when you achieve that, and
Yeah.
you can still continue to work with them obviously, but you
Mhm.
just need that social proof
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do it.
makes sense.
And through your network that you have right now, I'm sure you can find someone to be able to partner with. And
Mm.
so maybe you're not 100% clear on the offer right now, but I think if you can tell someone, hey, like, this is what we're going to charge as a retainer, and we're going to do organic,
Mm.
and we're going to do paid ads, and we'll take a percentage of whatever you spend if we hit a certain KPI, because then it's like, okay, well, there's upside to if you perform well, then we perform well. And you can even, the retainer doesn't have to be ridiculously high because your costs are not high. The cost of a
Mm.
fill for you is not like very, very high.
Yeah.
So you can definitely maybe bite the bullet on that for the first client and then say like for 3 months we'll do this contract, and then down the line if you produce really good results renegotiate with a higher retainer and a higher incentive fee or whatever you want. But you just need to get a client in right now and like do really really well for them, because I think you both have the ability to be able to produce good content. If they're willing to spend some money on ads, it doesn't have to be like 20 grand for them to get any results. If they have 5 grand to spend, you can use that to get them like at least some return on their spend and then reinvest
Yeah.
as much as possible of that back into growing the company. When you had that discussion with him, what was the consensus of it? Like, yes, we should go down this route,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, I think like also um when we've been chatting to the past few hot leads that we have right now, a lot of these people say they want to go very hard,
yeah,
and that can mean two things, right? It can be more volume in terms of content we produce, or we can kind of take the route of
yeah,
okay, going more hard in terms of pay
yeah,
advertisements. So yeah, it definitely opens up the door. Our offer does look a little bit more sexy in a way.
yeah.
Um, because
And there's clear
yeah,
ROI on it,
exactly.
because it's like,
Yeah,
and when you have obviously a case study, then it's a lot like easier to do. But
yeah,
if you know, it's hard to give a blanket like statement offer to say like we can make you X amount in X amount of days, because
mm,
every company that you've told me you're going after looks very different with different offer prices, different everything. And so for now, you probably need to work on deal specific to the client. But I think as you get more into the industry, you will go even a level further into your niche, and that will make your life a lot easier as well to know that you can fulfill on that and just make the offer like we are the best in B2C Web3 platform
Mm.
growth for companies, you know.
Yeah.
And another thing, when you said the client or the people that you're speaking to right now are like, oh, we want to go really hard, right?
Mm.
Your idea for the business right now is to pitch like founder-led content, right?
Mm.
So how often do founders get back to you right now? Like how often do they respond to you?
In terms of like respond to what?
Like respond to anything that you say to them? Like how much time do they have in their hands right now?
Pretty quick, I would say. Like, okay, bigger bigger companies like a week or two,
Mm-hmm.
like one of our instance,
Yeah.
but majority of the other people a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still a day for just a text. Sometimes a week or two for just a text.
Mm.
Now, if you want to do more volume on content only, that's gonna be tough to get a founder or any of like a exec level team to sit down and film for like a couple hours for a couple days in a row. And what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be waiting on them. They're like, okay, I can't do it now. Maybe let's do it next week or next week or next
Yeah.
week because that happens, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to the end of your contract term and they're like, oh, we don't see any results or we haven't seen anything, but it's like you haven't filmed anything to post. And
Yeah.
so if you get them to record a bunch of stuff for even one day
Mm.
and you can milk it with ads more than just organic, you can go a lot further with
Mm.
one content session with a founder than
Yeah.
having to go like, because with paid advertising, you can go harder by just spending more money on it. Yeah, you need to film a little bit more and get more creative diversity, and the more you spend, the more tests. You can't just do a couple ads a week, but
Yeah.
it's still much less taxing on any of the founders than to do a couple hours of content a day or a couple hours content a week because they go harder on content.
Yeah.
You need to just genuinely just sit down and do more volume, which is tough for some people with their availability and like they actually still need to run the company.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's like imperative for you to bring that into your offer because you're not just a content. You're not doing UGC anymore. You're not just a content marketing agency. You're a marketing agency because there's no reason for you to not, if you're already writing content for their organic to convert a cold audience, which they don't have any
Yeah.
followers right now, people to convert as a warm audience, you might as well put money behind it, like to accelerate their growth. They're gonna be more happy with you, and you can make more money out of it.
Yeah.
There's no like it's a win. I don't see there's any reason that you wouldn't go after that, right? Like does that?
I think we also see it as a like, okay, let's say they start out on Instagram, right? We start running ads. Let's say there's only 5 videos on there. They click on the profile. It just looks a little bit like too new. Like that's the one thing. Like we discussed before. Like that's just a founder
Yes.
issue
Yeah.
in the sense of what I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might not be for everyone, right?
Well, I could tell you that it's not always the case. If the product is good and like people want to, and your message is good enough to convert them, it doesn't matter as much, because I am a like advisor for a company that is in B2B legal tech, right? And when we started doing the paid go to market motion, they had like zero organic presence whatsoever. We just literally like threw money into good creative.
Yeah.
And we did a direct response funnel for them to like just go, like they would see the ad, go in, fill out a application, book a call, and that was that. Some of them went onto the page and there was nothing there. They still were interested enough to see the product.
Yeah.
They were like the pain or desire for the product was there. It was pointed out in the ad, which made them click to go on to the page. And they had enough desire or pain to like actually convert and want to book a call. And from there, it was like business as usual to close them without having any organic presence. Having an organic presence helps to nurture people a lot better, but it's not a necessity for you to be able to get them clients, right?
Yeah.
So again, this is where it comes in. It's like what you perceive as what you think is good or not, or you don't like to see that. Maybe it's not the case for someone else who just cares about the platform and how good the product or what the product is.
Yeah.
Because if the product is intriguing enough, your ad is intriguing enough, they're gonna go straight onto whatever landing page you build for them, or
Mm.
free trial, however, like whatever the conversion mechanism is, they would go on to do that. And you will just, it will help you a lot
Mm.
to have really good content to nurture people to,
Yeah.
but it's not a necessity for them to make money. As far as the offer goes, I know it's not the easiest thing in the world. Like getting back to just having a broad offer headline that even you can go out and tell people.
Yeah.
I know it's not the easiest thing, because even for like my company where we're doing like kind of consulting or growth advisory, right? We can't say like, all right, we're gonna bring you X amount of revenue in this time. We just have like, this is our results. This is the process that we do it.
Do you think we should position ourselves more as a growth agency rather than a marketing agency
Yeah,
in that case?
I think you can. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to the same thing, because
Yeah.
the reason I say growth is because we do sales inclusive as well. You're probably not gonna have to do that. You can spin it however you want. Like it doesn't really matter as long as your core offer is strong enough and your mechanism is strong enough.
Yeah.
And even in the beginning, maybe you don't have a clear offer, but if you could tell them, like for example, what we do, first thing when we sit on call with someone, and they're like, all right, what are you going to actually like tangibly implement for us? Because we have a setup fee and then we take a percentage of what we generate, right?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, we're going to write you. Do you have a written sales letter, like, or that you base all of your your copy off, or the ads that you write? No, what is that? Oh, okay. So what we're gonna do first, this is what it's gonna look like for the next 4 weeks. We're gonna write this. The reason we do this is because we make to ensure all of the advertising content is, or any content, funnel advertising, organic, is congruent to the core offer, whatever you're trying to sell or the service you're trying to sell. This is why we write this. Then we're gonna do this. Then we're gonna do that. And like all the things, even just having a clear, like you implementing a clear sales letter, like what I called it, for them, understanding like what is their clear offer, who's their ICP, writing that for them was already super, super helpful, right?
I think that's the one thing we really try and nail before we even give prices. Like last week, for example, we we had a customer or like a potential client come in. He explained his products, but we just wanted to get hands-on on the product first and understand it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's AI, it's an easy product to get on. It's not like a construction company where it's like you need to go in and like see what the product is,
Yeah.
but like just kind of understand a lot more about their products. Then we kind of figure out, okay, how can we position this or how can I angle this? And then go back to them with a idea. And then from there, it's kind of like, okay, how can we price this?
For them, like for your services
Yeah,
to
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, you, for now, while you're still trying to get that first client, like you doing that at no cost is fine. I don't know if you're actually writing a full scale thing, or you're just pitching them, hey, like I think you should go after this angle. Is it like you're writing a full on document for them, or
Yeah, yeah. I would say yes. In terms of what do you mean with full on document? Like have some examples of scripts, have some content ideas.
like yes? So
Okay.
more than just okay, I will pitch you. We should do this angle, but you haven't done any like deep work into it to
Mm.
say this is what I think you should do for, well, like, this is your offer, this is your ICP. Here, let me get some insight on the founder story. Why did you start it? Why are you better than competitors? To put, like, create a full document that you're going to base all of your content off of,
Yeah.
right? To make sure it's, like, everything is congruent and you're not just, like, writing a script isolated to the core message of the company that you've written.
Not to that extent. No.
Okay. So, because the reason I say that is if you do it before, and you just kind of give it to them, and then you're like, all right, let's discuss price. That thing, it's seen as less valuable, because it's like you
Yeah.
just did it for free for them.
Yeah.
But we put a big emphasis, which you can do too, obviously, having good case studies, etc. Makes
Yeah.
it easier. But we put a big emphasis to say like, you don't have this. A lot of companies don't have this. This is gonna make your content a lot better for you to write, and this is a business asset for you to have. Even without anything else that we do, this is a really core business asset for you to
Yeah.
have.
And you guys charge for that?
Well, it's part of our setup fee. That's like where they're like, all right, well, why do we have to pay
Yeah.
a setup fee if you?
But that comes afterwards. You send that in if they say yes.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes. Because it's like, all right, why do I have to pay for a setup fee? Oh, well, because we have to do this, this, and this. Set up SOP, write all this.
Yeah.
These sequences, we're gonna do this, whatever, whatever. And again, there's nothing wrong with giving them like a idea or pitching them. I think we're gonna do this. We're gonna go more into that. But like doing a full on document that's really valuable for them, or any marketing material that's valuable for them, and giving them away for free it diminishes the value of it. Now, I understand giving away really valuable insight and information for free. Like it is always a good thing, but you can still do that without having to give away your full like. That's basically your
Like a teaser almost.
yeah,
Okay.
because that like document as a base, and you writing that is a big one of your big like plays or value adds that you provide to them. And when you take that away, when you're pitching, it could be seen as like less. Now you have less things in it, less valuable, etc. So I would do it the full thing after, but you can still pitch them on a lot of different like ideas and stuff that you
Okay.
have for.
Okay. I wanna just quickly challenge you there. We have a very, very hot lead right now. It's someone that I've known for very long. I've worked with him in the past, and he just came up to us last night. He sent me a message like, "What does your pricing structure look like?"
Yeah.
And obviously he's in a hurry to just get a price because he's busy like raising funds, right? And he needs to allocate budget,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
What do I tell him?
Depends on what you want to offer him. So like
Mm.
you don't just go and offer him one package.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't know what he needs. So, like, okay, yes, growth. He's just starting up. He's raising capital.
Yeah.
So that means the product isn't really out there just yet.
Yeah.
So that means just getting as much eyeballs on the product as possible.
Yeah, it would be good to understand what his goal is and how quickly he wants to get there. Because it's like,
Mm.
if you tell me I want to get 100,000 users in 6 months
Mm.
versus I want to get 100,000 users in the next 12 to 18,
Mm.
very different approach,
Yeah.
very different needs. So it would be nice to understand his goal and how quickly he wants to scale there,
Mm.
because there's no point in you saying like, okay, we'll charge you 2K a month for videos or whatever, but he wants to get to 100K users in 6 months.
Yeah.
It's not going to cut it. And then he's going to say no, not because of any price or quality. It's like because it doesn't align with what he wants.
Yeah.
So I would literally go and say, all right, I need you to tell me what is your goal in the next 6 months, and if you were to hire someone for like overall growth, paid and organic advertising strategy, like what would you want them to do, be like, just get as much information out of him as possible, because you can be whatever he needs you to be,
Mm.
but you can't pitch him something that you don't know. That's why it's
Yeah.
tough,
Yeah. Guessing. Yeah.
because you're guessing.
Yeah.
And so the best way, if you don't have any insight, to get a like to kind of mitigate that, is to obviously have like at least 3 or 4 different packages to pitch him,
Mm.
to say, well, we can do this at this price, or this at this price, whatever you need.
Yeah.
But then usually people always, like, they would come back and say, well, actually, like, I like this package, but I kind of want this included and this included, and so they build their own thing at the end of the day anyway.
Mm.
So have you had a discovery call to gather that information from him yet, or no?
No. No.
I would ask him what he wants, because to say like, in order for me to not waste your time with a bunch of different packages and things that are not going to be aligned with your goals, we need to understand, because we're going to be like to a large extent in charge of, they allocate capital to you, but when you run advertising, you're technically allocating capital as well. It's like you're investing in,
Yeah.
like, you're doing a similar thing to what they're doing.
Mm.
In order for us to do that effectively and understand what you need and how much you need, we need to understand what your goals are, in a 6 month timeline, a 12-month timeline, what you're thinking of
Yeah.
for the company, and then we can
Yeah.
put something together that would best assist you. Because what you don't want to do is waste your time pitching him something that's like not at all what he needs.
Yeah.
Because usually those people would say no because of misalignment, not because of your ability or because of the price or whatever.
Mm.
Because people that raise money, in my experience, people that raise money, they don't really like. They're not gonna. It's not gonna be like, okay, we need to. If he says he wants to go wrestle, then they're gonna have the money to be able to allocate to that, and you just need to, because you're working together with them to grow their company, and you're in charge of a very important part
Yeah.
of essentially them making money. And
Mm.
so you, more than most people would need to understand to align with the founders what their goal is, where they want to go with product, where they going
Mhm.
like what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it comes down to different goal, different approach.
Yeah.
0 to 100K in 2 months, very different approach
Yeah.
and pitch to what you would say 0 to 100K in 12 months.
Yeah. In terms of like paid advertisements, right? You guys obviously test out a bunch of different sort of content pieces, right? How do you structure that? Because let's say yes, we are onboarding these clients, we tell them, listen, we're gonna do 12 pieces of content a month, but we want to go very aggressive on ads.
Yeah.
But for ads, we need to make like 2, 3 different versions of each of those 12 videos. Or am I misunderstanding something?
No. Are you asking like how do we convey what we want to do with ads, or like how does it work in terms like how does
Yeah.
testing it work?
Yeah. So how does our approach of content align with paid advertisements in terms of, because I know with paid advertisements there's a bunch of different ad types you're testing, right?
Yeah.
Let's say all 12 videos is completely different style or a completely different like narrative.
Yeah.
Are you just testing those 12 pieces of content, or are we iterating each of those pieces of content a little bit differently, like a different hook,
Yeah, you can
different
iterate.
writing?
Yeah, you can. If it now Meta is very very strict on needing to have creative diversity in their campaigns. So like
Mm,
if I'm sitting here doing Token Head,
mm,
but the body is the
mm,
same background, me wearing the same thing. The only thing I'm changing is the hook. They
mm.
don't see that as a different ad anymore. It's like
Okay.
bunched up in one thing. Now
Okay.
they do have this new creative testing element in where you can it's that is like the best to use to test different hooks,
Mm,
but you can only use one per campaign, which is kind of stupid.
mm,
But um you can definitely test different hooks for and like maybe a little bit different bodies. So let's say for example um you have one like main angle, right?
yeah.
That you're like writing about. Um you within like sub in that angle you could maybe have this angle is going to be like you need to make sure that you understand the um like where it's going to be filmed,
Yeah.
how it's going to be filmed. So like is it going to be a talking head, and is the talking head going to be at like in the office, is it going to be like where is it going to be, right? And then as far as the actual content, you can test different hooks and even different bodies within that angle, because an angle can encapsulate like we're going to be trying to think of a good example that we've recently like done that I can say like, oh, this is a good angle to do, that you can test multiple of, like,
Because obviously this is gonna affect how we structure content, right?
yes.
If we know they're gonna run it as ads, or
Yeah, so I would do, if you're doing both and this concept is going to be like you're going to make a video on like to an unaware audience that you're telling them all of the like basically what it is, whatever you come up with, right? You have one main concept that you're going to shoot content on, you're going to write that piece of content, but within that you can have them filming the ads to where they have different hooks. Maybe you can do 2 or 3 variations of that body that they write, because like how
Mhm.
long are the long like the piece of content that they're gonna film.
30, 40 seconds.
Exactly. So like you can easily iterate when you have one main concept that you have for that piece of content,
Mm.
you can do different hooks because you have one thing that you're gonna decide on. Right, this is what we're gonna post.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure in Instagram at least you can do like there's also a content testing mechanism that you can utilize for bigger accounts, but you probably wouldn't use that for when you're starting an account for
Yeah.
a client. But you can definitely have different variants while they're doing it. You have different variants where like they film in a different way, or you have a different body, or you have a different hook within the concept. And so there's no point in having three similar, or even 3 bodies with 6 different hooks,
Yeah.
and you all put that into one ad set, because it's not gonna effectively test it.
Mm.
So worst case scenario, if you have 6 different concepts and then you have 3 different hooks for each of those, so you get him to
Okay.
sit down and film something. You want to do 3 different hooks, and maybe there's a little bit of variation in the body as well. At the very least, so that you have 18 pieces of content, then you have one ad set, one ad set, and one ad set here. Then you would split the content up into, like, you would have hook 1, body 1. Then you would put hook 2, body 1 in here, and maybe hook 3, body 1 in here. Because at least now you also have, like, maybe hook 2, body 2. Then you have hook 3, body 2, hook 1, body 2. Now you're at least, like, testing different variations and different ad sets, because each ad set you're gonna, like, it's gonna be learning differently and testing. So I don't know if you've seen, like,
Yeah.
in Meta, it goes through, like, a learning phase in the ad set before it goes, like, active. So it gathers data to understand how to allocate it, like, best, and what the best ad is.
Mm.
And then it will go into, like, the active phase where it's actually pushing it, right? If you want to test different hooks, I would definitely put it in different ad sets and mix and match the different concepts in one ad set. Because sometimes you even have one might have a higher cost per result, but it's helping push traffic to the other one, and they're all, like, their algorithm is so good and autonomous now that, like, they understand better than you what is going to, like, what to push to which audience. And so um if you have a combination of very different pieces of content in one ad set, it's going to yield you the best result compared to just putting 6 of the same bodies
Mm.
with 6 different hooks in, because it's not gonna
Yeah.
treat it as differently.
Yeah.
You need something completely different. And within this, you could have one main concept that you're gonna go after, but then you can be like, all right, one body I'm gonna make to product aware people, one I'm gonna make to problem aware people, one I'm gonna make to completely unaware audience. That already, like, is gonna help, because now you have different awareness levels within the ad set, and because what happens is Meta would, even if you've seen, like, people talk about retargeting, right? But even within this one main, like, ad set, right? You have, they automatically would push, let's say, 75% to new audience, and then 25% would already be utilized to retarget this
But
audience that they're pushing.
but they're retargeting with a different video, right? So
Yes, it
it's
could
kind
be
of like
retargeting the same audience in this ad set, but a different video could hit them in a different. So, like,
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
why the content works together, and it's
Yeah.
important to have diversity within the content of an ad set.
Mm.
And because if they see a different hook, but it's the same seating, the same, like, music, the same B-roll, the same anything, the content is gonna fatigue a lot earlier. So, like, you may have one winner in here, but now if they get retargeted with something that looks exactly the same as before,
They're just gonna swipe.
because it, before you even say a word, like, if it looks the same, not only does Meta not, they don't like, see it as different things, but it's like, if you see something that looks the same,
Mm.
before someone even says something, you're subconsciously gonna swipe, because you're like, all right, I've already seen this. And so that's why you hit fatigue a lot quicker with ads if you do too much of the same thing. So, like, creative diversity is super, super big. And if you are testing different hooks and, like, smaller changes in, put them in different sets. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So let's say we know we want to run ads on specific videos. We just put a little bit more effort into those videos to kind of prep them for running
Exactly,
ads.
because with one main concept that you're going to do an organic video on, there's a lot of things that you can change to create diversity within that to be able to test.
Mm.
Because in the beginning, especially, there's you no idea what works. You need to test everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm gonna test the environment that you film it in. I'm going to test the hook. And then with your different concepts, obviously within that, like, some would obviously probably be better for more product aware people. Some would be better for more solution aware. Some would be better for more problem aware, and some would be better for more an unaware market, which usually you're gonna push unaware market more. But
Mm.
if someone sees within the ad set, like you're unaware of it, you see a video in the ad set, and you're like okay, now you've seen like what it's about. You kind of get the first taste
Yeah.
of, you're like, okay, this is interesting. Then you see another problem aware one that's like going after what the issue is that you're solving. Then you see another product aware one where they're talking about like specifics about the product, not the concept as a whole. Then you're like, okay, now I know more. This sounds interesting,
Mm.
and you're nurturing them within
Yeah.
the ad set that you're pushing to them because they're seeing the same thing.
Mm.
And then they're like, okay, well, I've seen enough. Let me go convert. And this is off the back of, if they do click through, you have a bunch of content that they can go watch to be nurtured as well.
Mm.
So I know it was kind of like a long-winded answer going into the specifics of like setting up a campaign
Yeah.
now, but to answer your question is you make them film one thing, add some variations to it, and there's a lot that you could utilize to run
Okay.
for ads.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean with nurturing. Because I mean, I noticed it last night actually. One person advertising a specific service, but he had like two complete different sort of ad styles,
Yeah.
but the same visual elements wasn't both of them. So I initially like realized, okay, this is the same ad, but it's different. Let me watch it. Let me maybe click it because I may be interested. So yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, because you have to be, and then obviously like you can set up a retargeting campaign to go more into there. You usually do a longer form like explanation of more in depth of the product. Like usually those videos are a little longer, doing some more explanation than just initially the goal of this is to get them interested, and the rest, the retargeting could be even more nurturing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so and that you can be like, you can set up, all right, people that have watched 3 seconds of these videos, I want to hit them, or people that have gone onto our landing page, I want to hit them.
Mm.
Whatever custom audience you want to set up, which is also the great thing. Is like there's so much um in organic, there's a lot of variability in it.
Yeah.
Here there's all like you can be very specific on who you're going after and targeting, and like forcing content to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some offers that you force consumption on them so much that like after they book a call, they get put into a custom audience
Mm.
where there's a bunch of ads talking about why this is, like, for example, we have a client that is selling a business model to people that are trying to make their first bit of money online.
Mm.
Once they book a call, it goes into
In the sense of like, how do we feel about seeing those sort of contents?
yeah.
Like me personally and my founder as well, is we are like if we see AI content, we know, and we kind of sometimes just think a little bit lower of
Yeah.
that specific content. So we don't want that feeling.
When you say campaigns, you mean like paid campaigns or organic campaigns?
Let's say you know the World Cup's coming up.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Just like using that as a
Not only do they get sent the resources, but like when they go on social media, they get put into a custom audience where they get pushed to the content of why this is the best business model.
yeah
Case study, case study, case study, case study, case study, case study. And then they cannot escape it. And when you have built that content web for them, it's over. It makes it so much easier for them to convert because you're just forcing consumption on them. That's all
yeah
you need.
yeah
And again, this like also another important part. It depends on if you're working B2C or B2B more, but a common thread in ads that are doing well right now, or content that's doing well, is just like proof, like why this works, why this is so good. If it's like a prediction market, oh, this person made 10K this weekend, this person did this, like everyone just wants to see, this is actually work. Like, is this legit? Okay, it looks legit enough. I've seen enough people when, all right, it's not like I finally made a decision to go and do it.
Mm.
Because you can explain all the product features you want, and I'm sure you know, like, but at the end of the day, it doesn't help as much as like
Yeah.
them seeing how it will help them, or them making money, or whatever the purpose of the product or services that you're selling to them.
yeah
So there's a lot more you can do, and again, this is gonna allow you to go harder without burdening the founder with more time to film.
yeah no, I get you.
Going on a tangent into like paid ads, what it is, why it would benefit you guys to add it to your offer, but back to the core discussion, you like are you now like not convinced but more clear on like what you're gonna go
Yeah.
offering to do?
Yeah, I think 100%. I think the main thing now that I just kind of need to go and sit down and figure out, since we are doing a lot more effort with like, okay, using this video or that video to run as ads,
Yeah.
it's not more the case of, okay, we're coming to you and we're gonna give you 12 videos. Now we're coming to you, we're gonna give you 12 videos, but we're going to also in the back end put a lot more time into creating different variants of those specific of those 12 videos. So not every single video, but let's say
Yeah.
3 or 4 every single month, and then utilize that as running
Yeah.
ads. So now it's just the factor of, okay, how do we put a price on that? Something I'm just thinking about now.
The more proof in the case studies you get, the more
Yeah.
you get the right to charge.
Yeah.
So for now, what I would do is, and again, comes back to literally the main thing is you are a marketing agency. You're putting so much effort into writing content that converts cold audience on the organic side. You might as well do it on the paid side because it's not that much extra work
Yeah.
to add to it, and
Yeah.
there's a lot more upside and there's a lot more tangible. Like it's easier to provide and show them tangible results that were driven by you
Yeah.
because content is hard to do that, like to track with
Yeah.
what is yours and what's revenue driven by you versus
Yeah.
not. Ads obviously a lot easier to do. I would lead with that and add the brand building organic to it
Mm.
because they care about making money and driving around. Like their
Yeah.
biggest thing is they're funded now, but they need to make money to like continue being in business. They need
Okay. So that's like kind of handled in terms of I understand that part. What should their budget be on running ads? Because founders, especially now, they want to be straight up and just like kind of know, like okay, here's our retainer price. What's going to be a realistic ad spend that we need to get approved on a budget side of running every single month?
So it's a tough question. It's like
Because we can't sell them the product, but then if they'll ask us, how much do you think we're going to be spending?
yeah, it's a tough question because it's like how long is a piece of string? Because
Yeah.
every business type who they sell to will yield a different benchmark customer acquisition cost.
Mm.
And so 5K might be a big budget where your cost to acquire a customer is like $50. But 5K might not be a big budget when your cost to acquire a customer is like $1,200. Right?
Yeah.
So I would say 5K is like you're never gonna have unless you're something like super big B2B, like ridiculous large B2B.
I think our main ICP for clients that we're targeting is B2C.
Okay. Then 5K should be enough.
Yeah.
For you to test at least, like in
Yeah.
1 month.
Yeah.
Because at least you'll get more than enough data to understand this is what we need to do, this is what converts the best,
Mm.
right? And your incentive should be away from, if they have a sales team or whatever, away from, or even if it is like sign up, away from just customers driven. It's like you want to make sure that it's as much as possible tied to quality traffic that you're bringing through because if they have a closer and the sales team sucks or the sales process sucks or their sign up to like free trial, let's say they have a free trial, their free trial to paid conversion rate sucks.
Mm.
You can't be judged on paid users because there's a big part that's on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you're thinking about what your KPI would be for like incentive bonus.
How do you normally attack like KPIs when you first get into the business? Is it first like, okay, do it for a month, kind of figure out what the benchmark is, and then implement a KPI, or is it you're reading the data they already have and knowing what you've done for past clients and then setting a KPI? Because I think that's going to be a pretty hard thing to do starting a first client, right?
For us, it's different because ours is like very much ours is reverse KPI. It's like if we don't hit a certain benchmark, we pay you X amount, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay us because ours is largely performance driven.
Yeah.
For you, the only thing you're losing out on a KPI is performance, like incentive bonus. And
Yeah.
so you could go look at what a benchmark for the industry performance is, which you can go find, right? If it's a B2C product, you know, like literally you can go type it and say, all right, this is the product.
Yeah.
What is the target like customer acquisition cost for this? Or whatever your benchmark is that you're basing your KPI off of. Then say this is gonna be our target for the first month. If you don't hit it, you don't get the incentive bonus, you still get the retainer.
Yeah.
Because you're still gonna get the money. And now, if they spend your retainer plus ad spend and you make them more money than that, they're gonna be happy. Like they're
Mhm.
gonna stay with you. They're not gonna, as long as they're making more than what they're spending,
Yeah.
they're gonna be happy with you.
Yeah.
And now it's more tangible. So if they
Mhm.
ever fight you, you can be like, this is the results we're giving you.
Mm.
Whereas with just content, it's harder to do that.
Yeah.
It's harder to
That makes sense.
point the finger back at like you're the one that's driving the revenue,
Mm.
right? Because it's an element in the whole factor of it.
Yeah.
As far as price, what I would do now is what I said earlier is go out and find a client, sign a client, go do the work for them, only focus on fulfillment for that one client, and give them the best result ever to not only make sure that they stay on and
Mm.
renew
Yeah.
like contractually with you, but to go out and make your customer acquisition with other clients easier.
Makes sense. To just kind of have some sort of proof to showcase other people.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Because first client is not define your price for the rest of your life or
Mm.
how you're gonna sell for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
We changed our offer and how we price and structure a lot. So it's not set in stone. You just need to like get someone that's willing to spend on advertising,
Mm.
even if your like retainer would be lower,
Mm.
and get them a great result.
Makes sense.
And your life will be easier for growth from there.
Makes sense. Okay.
Because even if you wanted to run advertising for your own company,
Mm.
you have the really super sick case study. You can just milk that to
Yeah.
get
Exactly. Yeah.
someone else in. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I would focus on right now. And you, as far as deliverables, you can make up a set of deliverables. Everything that you like would need. It's like, all right, this is what I'm gonna write for you, included in the price of the retainer.
Yeah.
Value stack the shit out of that. Make sure it's like, oh, I'm getting a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And now with the ads, you're like, well, you're getting all that, and that's gonna allow us to make you X amount of money, like this much money.
Mm.
So, you know, yeah, I would go back, definitely focus on that. Just get a client to sign with that offer. Make sure you have full control over doing both brand building with organic plus conversion through paid advertising.
Yeah.
Either learn it, partner with the agency, get something like you can do something. You can include if you want a freelancer to help with it, include in your price, whatever the case is, just to get you like a good result on the first one because it
Yeah.
will make your life so much easier.
It makes sense. It's kind of like eliminating all the stress factors and chasing factors in the first, let's say 6 months, rather spending 3 months on a very, very good client, get perfect results and know exactly what it takes,
Yeah,
and then go much harder after I have
yeah,
those results. Yeah.
exactly. Because the way you grow as a service company,
Mm.
you just be good at what you do,
Yeah.
and that already like will allow you to beat out most of the competition. Yes, obviously visibility is
And it's also just kind of like speeding up the process of showcasing credibility
yes.
for us.
Because you can, yes, visibility as a company is a big thing. Like maybe there's another company doing what you do that more people can see.
Yeah.
But those like if you're not the company that's gonna win long term in the service space is the one who provides the best service and does the best fulfillment.
Yeah.
Because you'd rather want company clients to stick around longer than have to churn out clients and go acquire new clients all the time.
Exactly.
So focusing too much in the beginning on like front end acquisition and just like getting to be everywhere,
Mm.
it's gonna make it harder. It's not completely wrong, but long term, like you may want to make sure that you focus on fulfillment.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
will help you stand out compared to anyone else. Because
Yeah.
it's one thing to get a demo with someone and be like, all right, like now I know who you are,
Mm.
and then it's like, okay, well, what are your results? Like,
Mm.
what have you done for other clients?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the thing that gets them to convert. So.
That was yeah, very, very interesting. I think like I have a way more clear picture of what we need to do now. And since we have like a lot of warm leads, I would say, like kind of finding the one that's we think we can get the best results for
Mhm.
and only signing with them for now.
Yes, because that's another good point to bring up is you need to be particular in picking the clients that you know you can provide, like would be a good client that you know you can produce for it. Because that's also a big thing. It's like if you say yes to anyone, you're gonna cook. Some clients are just like, unfortunately, it's just gonna like
It's your
not gonna make a difference
product.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be way harder to get the results doing the same thing than another company.
Yeah.
So
I
you
mean,
want to give yourself the best possible chance to get good results.
yeah.
And people underestimate how important picking a good client is
Mm.
in the success of yeah, like if you're good, then you can make it work with anyone. But some people just suck to work with, and you could either you want to make one your life easier so you enjoy what you do and who you work with, and two, because that will allow you to produce better results and work like at a higher level. And why would you not give yourself the best possible chance to
Yeah,
do better even with a better client?
makes sense. Makes sense.
Because if they have a better product, your life is easier when
Mm.
you work with like when you're running the growth or like
Mm.
acquisition of the company. If the client sucks and you don't drive them results, or if the company sucks, the product you don't even believe in the product yourself,
Mm.
it's gonna be tough to drive growth. If you're like it's similar to investing. Like, would you invest into this product? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it solves a good problem? Yes, no, like yeah. So very underrated. People underestimate how important it is to pick
No,
a
it
good
makes
client.
sense. It makes sense because I've had some discussions with people running an AI product.
Yeah,
That's just like there's nothing that differentiates them from, I mean, Claude or ChatGPT. It's a wrapper, right?
exactly.
But it's not the best.
Yeah,
And how do I need to market something that I don't believe in?
exactly. Straightforward next steps, just get client, deliver really good results for them.
Mm.
Integrate paid into your advertising because at the end of the day, your biggest strength is being able to write content that converts
Yeah.
audiences, not just shooting videos and making organic content for it. And
Mm.
so it's a logical addition to go into paid as well
Yeah.
for your company.
Yeah.
And there's a plethora of like benefits that we spoke about that
Mm.
that you will get if you do that. So yeah.
Awesome.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Good. I
Yeah.
hope
Happy.
you got some more
Yeah. Way more clear
clarity
mind. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just understanding of like different element that you could maybe like different angle that you can
Mm.
run and bring into it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Excited to implement it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.